It's another week and I got another big stack of books to review. This is your weekly comic book review. This is everything that came out for the first week of June, June 4th. Everything that I read that I wanted to review. We're going to go through it from what I recommend the most to maybe what I recommend the least. All right, so let's get into it. What I recommend the most, June 4th, new comic book day. It's got to be Absolute Superman, guys. This is issue number 8. This starts the new story arc. So if you guys are wanting to jump on to an Absolute title or just Absolute Superman in general, this is the perfect place to do it. So what we know so far, right? So Superman Kal-El has been traveling the globe. He was kind of kicked out of Smallville. They were trying to capture him and he kind of left, just kind of being like a wandering man, helping people whenever he can. Lois Lane is part of the Lazarus Corporation, who are technically the bad guys. So Lois Lane is working for the bad guys. But she is starting to maybe switch sides. She's really curious about what this, who this person is, this Kal-El Superman person is. So she's trying to track him down and find out more information about him, and has tracked him down to Smallville, found out that he used to live in Smallville and all that stuff. In this issue, we also get introduced to this kind of version of Jimmy Olsen. So he's on kind of the rebel alliance fighter, thinks that Kal-El can maybe help them in their rebellion efforts against the Lazarus Corporation. So really interesting stuff. We got a new look at the upgraded Peacemaker. We get a little bit of Ra's al Ghul too at the very beginning here, very savage. So yeah, really liking where the story is going so far. Great stuff, man. Absolute Superman, Jason Aaron's just killing it. Of course, we also got where's the art team? Down here too, we got Sandoval coming back on. So just an excellent look for Superman, dude. I'm loving this one. Next up, we got Ultimate Wolverine issue number 6. I'm loving where this one's going, man. So we have Chris Condon writing, and this one we have Linz and Valenza. So different kind of art than the Capuccio stuff that we're used to. But in this, we got Logan, Winter Soldier in this universe. He's kind of in his own like mind prison, I guess, and someone's helping him out. So the entire thing is like this trippy. He's getting helped out by this guy who we learn is this universe's version of Legion, but he has changed his name to the One, which you find out later. Pretty cool, like sci-fi kind of twist for this Legion character, but he's just helping him break out and helping him realize that, hey, you are under the control. You are not who you have always been. So maybe it's time for you to break out. So at the very end of this, man, it looks like we finally get a Logan who might be free of the mental hold that he's been put on. So maybe starting now, we'll get Ultimate Wolverine on the good side, right? So very interesting stuff. You guys might want to jump on if you're interested in checking out the Ultimate Universe as well. We also have Absolute Green Lantern. This one's issue number 3. So this is the Ultimate title that I'm least sure about so far. I think Al Ewing is just, he's kind of like filling out the story around it before he can kind of take off and start going. So we're just learning more about kind of the situation that all these different people in this town find themselves in. They're kind of stuck in like a dome. We get this confrontation between Joe and this Hal Jordan. It seems like this Hal Jordan's going to be a bad guy. He's got like this dark gun, and he's talking about how the darkness wants to eat on the light and stuff like that. Really weird stuff. But then we get Joe, who seems to be the most control in the most control of her powers. So pretty cool stuff there. Right here, you see this little barrier. So nothing can get through except for gold. John Stewart trying to figure out what's going on with that, but interesting stuff so far. It's kind of hard to see where this series is going just yet with only 3 issues in. It's still good and I still recommend it, but it's not my favorite Absolute title by any means at this point. We'll have to see where that one goes. Al Ewing is just taking a little bit to get cooking. Great artwork in this though, I will say, especially like some of the magic uses of rings, the ring power and stuff like that. Next up, let's talk about Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion. So this is kind of like the summer event for the Ultimate Universe. We get Miles Morales, who was in the original Ultimate Universe. He jumped to the main 616 comic universe, but then he's jumping back into the Ultimate Universe, some multiverse shenanigans or whatever. So this Miles Morales, he kind of teams up with the Ultimate version of Peter Parker and his son. So we get a little triple Spider-Man team up sort of issue. So I thought this one was really fun. I am not the biggest fan of the multiverse Spider-Man stuff, so that kind of turned me off a little bit. But it's just fun to seeing, these versions of the Ultimate Spider-Man and his son swinging around New York with Miles Morales. I mean, that's just, how can you not have fun, right? Who's he teaming up with next? Oh yeah, the Ultimate. So that'll be interesting, man. Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, Playhouse from Oni Press. Playhouse issue number 3. This series is great so far, man. really taking a sort of twist that I'm not going to spoil for you guys here, but the initial setup was that this group of people, they were going into these houses and trying to figure out why they were haunted, right? And they had like a TV show that they were doing. But some twists and turns have happened in this series, and this is not kind of a series that it turned out it was going to be, man. Some great artwork from Dave Chisholm, an artist I'm a huge fan of. I think he's just killing it. So if you're into like a sort of like slasher, haunted house, sort of spirity sort of story, you see this guy getting his ass kind of kicked by like a ghost dude. Really interesting stuff here, man. I don't want to show you guys too much because that twist is pretty cool in issue number 2, and it continues right through issue number 3. This is a series to definitely check out, especially when it comes out on trade. Definitely one to trade with. Great stuff from Oni Press. They've been on a roll. Next up, let's talk about JSA. We got 3 more issues here, including JSA. So JSA issue number 8. This was like a throwback issue, so we still get Jeff Lemire writing, but we get a different artist on this one. And it's kind of like a throwback issue all the way back to World War II, when the JSA is fighting, the bad guys. They got the spear, and it's kind of like a, open this portal, bring a bunch of evil demonic beings to destroy the world, whatever. It turns out that this can only happen every 80 years. So since this mission, the JSA stopped them from opening the portal. That's why in the current modern day story, they're also trying to open the portal because it's 80 years after the fact. So that's kind of what's going on with the JSA versus the Injustice Society. Injustice Society is trying to bring a portal to get all these like Cthulhu beasts and destroy the world. It's kind of the story going on so far, but kind of a look back issue, throwback. JSA in World War II beating up some Nazis, pretty cool stuff. We get Wildcat, who obviously has passed away in the current modern story, but I'm loving this series so far. 2 more issues left. Let's talk about Birds of Prey, issue number 22. So really enjoying this series. You guys know I'm not going to be dropping it, dude. Tons of fun. Might be the most fun like team up book on stands right now. So we got all the different birds. They're investigating the fact that Big Barda has been taken off the table. Someone has kind of kidnapped Big Barda. So the team is sort of split, trying to look into that. We get Cassandra Cain, Sin, and Black Canary are going, and they think they have a lead on where Big Barda is. Turns out Big Barda she's under mind control, I guess. So she's not, the Big Barda that's friendly with all these people. She's fighting back, but we get some little cracks in it. She's like, Canary, what? So sad stuff, what's going on with Big Barda. So the team's going to have to come together. But the artist for this arc is really solid stuff from Basri. Not this. This is Superman. That's right here. Really solid stuff. So I'm loving this, dude. The Birds of Prey. They're kind of, maybe they bit off more than they can chew, but they're going to have to work together. Kelly Thompson, so consistently fun, man. Last up, let's talk about Batgirl issue number 8. Not the biggest fan of the Shiva arc, man. I know some people, it's like okay for them. For me, it's just kind of a miss, dude. But I'm really liking this art from Goodhart and Mike Spicer, obviously. It's just another look at Shiva year 1. After she had run away, she's traveling the world with these 2 dudes, Tiger and Dragon, traveling the world with their sister, trying to beat on people, save people, and then we find out what happened to the sister. So in that sense, it's really tragic, and it maybe sends Shiva on her own path to where we know her today, being like the world's greatest killer and all that stuff. Whereas before, it looked like things were going pretty well with her sister. But so yeah, Batgirl issue number 8, not bad by any means. Just not something that I maybe recommend. If you were looking at the first arc, that first arc was really good. But the second arc is kind of taking it down a little bit. But yeah, that's what we got. New comic book day. Comic book reviews for June 4th. Definitely check out all the other topics. We did weekly comic book reviews. We talked about my my Marvel and my indie pull list. We talked about some comic book video games. And then, of course, we did this comic book mail call, dude. So that's what we got. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check out any of the other topics. Thank you guys for watching and read more comics.